I've got a bunch of stands on the farm that have been here for, gosh, some of them have been up for more than 10 years. And I haven't hunted a lot of these stands for a really long time. So I just figured this was going to be the week. Perfect time, beautiful weather. I'm going to pull down every single stand on the farm. I'm going to bring it in, clean it up, make sure it's still working, still safe. And then I'm going to throw away the stuff that's no good or fix it. And then as we go into the fall, I'll be ready to put the stands back up again in the new locations. So it's just one of those things where you get kind of lazy and you'll hang a stand and you think you'll come back and hunt it, but maybe you only hunt it once and then you don't get back to it, and then there it sits, and then the tree grows in around it. So I made a list of all the stands on the farm, at least as far as I can remember. There's a lot of them on there. So I thought it'd be kind of fun for the video blogs to, as I take each one of these down, to talk about the stand, why I put it up, some of the hunts that we've had there, how it sets up. Some of them are going to be, lessons where we had some good successes, and some of them are going to be failures. But either way, it's going to be a lot of fun just to go through all the different stands on my farm and tell you the logic behind each one of them. Should be, it'll take us 2 or 3 days to pull them all down, but it'll take us probably 2 or 3 weeks to post them all here on the video blog page. So you get a chance to follow along with us over the next several days as we pull all these stands down, and I'll tell you what the mindset was when I put them up. The first stand that we're going to take down is one that I hunted last year, put it up last year actually, so I know this one is still safe. But this one I put up right in this little draw right here. You can see on the Huntera map they've got some shading in there. We're right at the very head of this draw. The deer were crisscrossing the top of this ridge quite a bit. So I want to stay fairly close to the edge here so we could pick up any deer that were crossing it, maybe call to them. And then typically what we find in this more broken country is the deer will follow the contour lines as they travel. So they go usually around the head of a draw when they go from one ridge to the other ridge. If it's not too steep, they'll cross it, and they'll do that quite a bit. But you tend to see them going up around the draws a fair amount. So setting this stand up at the very head of this draw allowed me, with a west wind, to blow my scent out into this grassy area, which is this ridge top here, and away from these deer. So you've got a draw here, a bedding area, and a bedding area. And if you look at this, you'll be able to see that. We're right at the head of the draw. There's a ridge top there and a ridge top there, and the deer tend to bed in those types of locations. This is the typical, what I call rut stand. Morning stand, less probably of an afternoon stand than a morning stand, I'd say, just because it's right between two bedding areas and there's really not that much food around. And I did have a pretty good hunt here last year. I think it was November 7th or so. That buck that with the one eye came here, and I almost got a shot at him, and it was a real close call on that. I mean, I probably could have forced a shot somewhere, but the coordination of trying to get video and trying to get an open shot at the same time just didn't work out for us. So that deer should be around. I think he was a deer that I saw 2 years prior when I was hunting that buck that we called the Wide 10. So we're going to go back and pull through some footage, but I'm pretty sure that he was a 2-year-old 2 years prior to last year. So he'd be a 5-year-old this year. So he might have been on the young side of it last year, but either way, I mean, it would have been a fun buck to kill. But this year he's probably a little bit more mature. I don't know that we will be right back here. We might. This spot sets up pretty well, but either way, we're pulling it, and we'll grab this stand and we'll move on to the next one.